Tonight on News 5 Live, Mountain Pine Ridge is on fire. We'll show you how the concerted effort taken to save the forest reserve. A high school teacher in San Pedro is charged for the sexual assault of 3 minors. Atlantic Bank says it's no longer doing business with State Bank Enterprise. And tonight, on the bright side, high school students confront bullying. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Channel 5 Belize. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Channel 5 Belize.
1,067,700 slices of bacon are eaten by tourists each year, stimulating our local economy. Tourism means business.
I'm David Humes. This is Vanessa Humes. We own Ladyville Cool Spot. Belize Bank save us a lot of time. Working with them, we can keep track exactly what we spend. We recommend Belize Bank 100% because we don't have to go to stand up in line, and we can check on our account right from our house. Working with Belize Bank is the best.
What if I told you that your singing talent can earn you $10,000? What if I told you that you can stop singing in the shower and sing live on one of the biggest stages in Belize?
Let's go! I'm gonna love you forever.
Still not sold? Well, what if I told you with all that's offered, you can attract fans and supporters from all over the country? So, are you ready to be part of the most exciting singing competition in Belize? It's time for KTV The Remix, Season 6. Auditions will take place on Saturday, June 1st and Sunday, June 2nd. So mark your calendars and come show us how good you are. This is your chance to make it big and win big. KTV The Remix, Season 6. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on 5.
Hi, my name is Leah Mangar, and I am currently the Administrative Assistant at Yasche Conservation Trust here in beautiful Punta Gorda. I received the Social Security Board Scholarship in the year of 2021. After I was told that I was a successful recipient of this scholarship, I was very grateful. This scholarship has assisted me in various ways. Firstly, it relieved me of financial constraints. So that was the main obstacle that was keeping me back. But receiving this scholarship allowed me to gain the skills and the knowledge that I needed to attain the job that I currently have. I would just encourage you all to apply to the scholarship, and the process is very, very easy. You will find a link and it will direct you to everything that you need in order to submit your application. And once you submit it, pray and just hope for the best, because you just will never know if you can get it.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, May 24th. I am Annalyn Opolonio. It's been several weeks of firefighting efforts across the country as an extreme heat wave exacerbates the occurrence of wildfires. On May 16, the Forest Department detected a fire that had broken out at the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve in Cayo District. As the largest forest reserve in the country, an uncontained fire could have severe, long-lasting effects on wildlife as well as the neighboring areas. To combat these fires, the department launched a collaborative effort to contain and extinguish these flames. While the efforts are still ongoing to manage a few of the fires, the department has reassured us that the situation is under control. For more insight into the process of saving the forests, News 5's Brittany Gordon visited the reserve and with some of the people who are working firsthand to do so. Here's that story.
I'm here at the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve, standing in front of one of the few fires left to contain before it spreads further into the area. The team at the Belize Forest Department is hoping that the flames will be extinguished by a nearby creek before it can spread into the area. The past 7 days have been a continuous effort to extinguish the flames making their way through the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve, Belize's oldest and largest forest reserve. First established in 1944, the reserve spans over 300 square miles and is home to rivers, waterfalls, a variety of fauna, and as the name suggests, is brimming with thousands of pine trees. However, this natural resource, beloved by locals and tourists for its picturesque views, was recently put at risk when a wildfire broke and quickly started spreading within the area. The fires, which have been burning since last Wednesday, are believed to have been started by a lightning strike. Amin Bedran, manager at the Bull Ridge Limited, a sustainable logging company that manages the reserve, says that the team jumped into action right away and have since been able to manage the blaze.
The fire started, as they mentioned earlier, with a lightning all the way by Kinloch. We are, I would say, east of Kinloch. The fire continued down towards the dam, and we were working on this front. As you can see, if the fire had crossed this line, we are on Bucky line, it would have been devastating because it would have burned all the way up to Granite Cairn. There's no breaks between. The only way you can fight and control a fire in the Pine Ridge is with the roads. You can't out this with fire. You have to fight fire with fire by doing backburns.
As Bedran mentioned, some of the fires were not doused with water. Instead, a method called backburning was used. This process involved burning a counter set of controlled fires to eliminate the fuel in the path of the approaching flames. Chaneli Carrillo Balan, forest officer in charge at the Douglas De Silva Forest Station, explained that in order to create the fire line, which is the barrier to the progression of a wildfire, the team had to quickly open roads. They were able to accomplish this with the help of Cisco Construction.
So at this location where we are right now, we are on line number 1, which you can see here. This is Douglas De Silva. This is where all the camps are, the houses, the offices. The fire was coming south to north, and we had to open this line here as a fire line. The fire was coming in this direction here. So what we had to do is, in order to protect the station, the camp on this side, which is very, very close, we had to backburn. And this is where you can see the big difference. See? So when you have the backburn, you make sure that it is done under a controlled environment as much as possible under the conditions that we were, fighting the wildfire. And that way we have a fire fighting the wildfire coming back. And that way we were able to, it helps to make sure that we create a buffer.
If the team had been unable to contain the fire, it would have put the neighboring camps and resorts at risk. However, they were successful in their mission, and that area is no longer a threat.
The ministry, especially the forest department, which is overlooking these forest fires, it's a concern for them because it falls under their jurisdiction. However, we must recognize also that some of the fires might be intentional fires because they are agricultural landscape fires, and they escape and they get into the forest without control. Some of them are permitted fires, like what happens in industry, for example, the sugarcane industry. If it's not controlled, these also get away, and then it causes problems. Here in the Mountain Pine Ridge, real concern for us because we know we have, apart from the logging concessionaires who are up here, this is a real natural resource for the government and people of Belize, but we also have tourism. So we have the resorts, which are a concern because you have tourists, you have people who come up on weekends to spend time with their families, so certainly a concern.
Although these fires required immediate action to extinguish, fires within the reserve are not uncommon. Every year, the Belize Forest Department and its partners perform what is called a prescribed burn, which is a controlled set of fires set in order to clear debris on the forest floor, to preserve the health of the forest and ensure that these decaying materials are cleared should a wildfire occur. The key to a good forest fire is maintaining control. John Pinello, Deputy Chief Forest Officer at the Forest Department, further explained this process.
In a pine ecosystem, fires are necessary. Actually, annually we have fires going through. Preferably, we would like to be the ones burning the fires in the cool months, which we call a prescribed burn. And we make sure that we burn the litter that you see on the ground. If we leave this for a number of years, this will start growing and it becomes a bigger fuel load on the ground. So when we do have fires, it burns really, really hot and it causes more damage than help. But ordinarily, the ecosystem needs fires. So that is not, you don't want to say that the fire is causing negative effects. It is in some areas, but mostly it's the good fires we're having.
While the Forest Department led the charge in containing the fires, it was a collaborative effort between multiple stakeholders. The Chalillo Dam is used to generate hydroelectricity for Fortis Belize. As it is situated in the Mountain Pine Ridge, the company was quick to offer assistance in the fire response mission. Tedford Pate, operations manager at Fortis Belize, told us about these efforts.
We drove all the way to the location to see the extent of the fire, and we noticed that it was quite significant. So from that point, Saturday, we start to mobilize in collaboration with all our stakeholders, the Forest Department primarily, and also we had the support of Mr. Bedran with the Bull Ridge crew. We had Mr. David Penner providing support with bulldozers, graders, water trucks, BRC, Siska Construction, FCD eventually came out to assist with foot on the ground as well. And we also had about 3/4 of our Fortis Belize crew as part of the boots on the ground extinguishing these fires. So Astrom, however, was then summoned with the help of a helicopter to assist in this effort, and it was very, very effective using that form of support. We wouldn't have been this successful if it wasn't for the Astrom helicopter dousing the fire with water right here from the reservoir. So we are very grateful for all the support we have gotten.
Preliminary findings indicate that 38.9% of the reserve were affected by the fires. According to Habet, most of the trees in these areas are recoverable and will regenerate and produce seedlings within the next 2 months. For the few trees that were severely damaged, he anticipates that those will have a longer recovery time.
From what we understand is that within 3-4 months you will start seeing the seedlings already. Of course, many times on natural conditions you don't come out to do the thinning unless you do the planting, but the thinning is actually done by way of doing your burns, and prescribed burns are very important. And it is something also where we are looking at lessons learned. Areas which possibly haven't been burned for a while have now been burned purposely. But also the department is looking at maybe addressing some of these burns and prescribed burns during the cooler part of the year, maybe November, December, after the rainy season has ended, to do some of those burns so that then you can still eliminate the extra material and fuel that's on the ground before the dry season commences.
While the teams continue their efforts to contain the few remaining fires, the public is advised to proceed with caution if they are planning to visit the reserve within the next week. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
The Ministry of Blue Economy and Disaster Risk Management has welcomed a new task force in response to the surge of wildfires observed throughout the country. The National Wildfire Response Task Force was designed to provide immediate response to wildfires affecting Belize, particularly those in the Toledo and Cayo districts. The task force is to be led by the National Emergency Management Organization, NEMO, and is comprised of the National Fire Service, the Forest Department, the Belize Defense Force, Astrom helicopters, and several other key stakeholders. The task force met today and is coordinating several operations across the country, including the improvement of fire responses in the Mountain Pine Ridge Reserve, response to threats in the Eligio Pante National Park, and continued support of communities in the Toledo district being affected by fires. The fight against the fires brought on by the severe regional heat wave is a continuous effort across the country. The recent fire at the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve drew great concern for the Forest Department, as resources and manpower were already divided among several fires in southern Belize. Orlando Habet, Minister of Sustainable Development and Climate Change, told us that it is due to the collaborative efforts between several organizations that all the fires can be addressed, and that additional assistance for the affected individuals is in the pipeline.
It was something that we had to make a decision on because we also knew that there were fires down south in Colombia, and so we wanted to share the personnel. But because NEMO had taken the leadership down because it's now close to communities, so they took jurisdiction of that, and assistance from some of our forest department personnel from the south in Machaca, And they also got assistance from the NGOs like Tide, who have a lot of experience doing fire training, and also with Yasche, they had a lot of help. So we decided that it was best that we address this area with the personnel we had. I think within the limits of the towns and villages, it is very important that we stress information and education for the public, because it is absolutely necessary for us to educate our public. Sometimes it's just a small fire in a backyard fire that can get away, and then the smoke and everything else is a problem. You see what happened in San Ignacio and Santa Elena during the past week. The air quality is really bad. You can't come out and run or jog or exercise, do your bicycling, because it is terrible.
Sir, Colombia, the villagers have lost a lot of farmlands. I think close to 90 farmers were with NEMA earlier this week assessing the damage. Is the government doing anything to assist these people, because this is their entire livelihood gone just like that?
Yeah, certainly the government will come in to assist. I think right now they're doing some assessments to see the people who are affected, the farmers who are affected. And as with any emergency and any event, a catastrophic event like this, then the government makes these assessments. And if it's in the agriculture sector, then the Ministry of Agriculture goes in to assist. And then certainly with the housing, then NEMO comes in, and then the Ministry of Human Development also comes in to assist. The government will have to use some type of funding, maybe a contingency fund, to try to get the funding to assist these people.
The Chalillo Dam, which is situated in the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve in Cayo District, was recently at risk of being damaged by a wildfire that broke in the area. Last Wednesday, the team at the Forest Department noticed an uncontained fire rapidly spreading throughout the reserve. The department, alongside several stakeholders, sprang into action to contain it. Participating in the mission was a team from Fortis Belize that felt it was necessary to assist as the reserve houses the Chalillo Dam. This hydroelectric dam produces 7 of the 41% of energy the company provides to Belize. Tedford Pate, operation manager at Fortis Belize, told us that due to the fast action of the team, the dam was saved from any potential damage.
We are working on strengthening our protocols. We do have emergency response plans in place, but right now we're working closely with the fire department, the forestry department, in strengthening our protocols and establishing a wildfire safety protocol for Fortis Belize as we speak. This will not only involve our efforts, but it will also mean collaborating with all the stakeholders, especially so the forestry department, FCD that operates in this area, as well as the other stakeholders like Bullridge, the contractors that we employ, so that we have a detailed response plan in the event that they should reoccur.
Coming up, high school students from across Belize City visit the Belize Central Prison.
Hello friends, I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "For there is one God and one mediator between God and men, the man Christ Jesus." I have always felt that one of the most uncomfortable times of the day in Belize City is around 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. It is about that time each day that one part of Belize City is cut off from the other, as the drawbridges are opened up to allow the boats to leave and then to return. Many years ago, it became very obvious to me that it was 2 or 3 bridges that connect the city and make it accessible to the people. As I stand often at the drawbridge downtown and wait, I pause for a moment to thank God that there is another bridge that every person should become acquainted with and use. It is a bridge to God. It is a bridge of the cross of Jesus Christ. It is through Jesus Christ and His cross that men separated from God can be brought back to God. Man no longer has to feel separated and estranged from God. The Bible says Jesus is the one bridge, the one mediator who can give us access to God. He can span the deepest chasm. He can cross the widest river. Come by faith today and trust Him as your Savior. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
save. The credit union way.
The Holy Redeemer Credit Union Limited is celebrating its 80th annual general meeting, and all member owners are invited to attend this milestone on Saturday, May 25th at 2 p.m. sharp at the Belize Civic Center. Come listen to important reports and information about your credit union and get the opportunity to ask questions and elect your officers. Participate to win thousands of dollars in cash prizes. HRCU boasts over 64,000 member owners, $773.8 million in assets, $644.8 million in total savings, $129 million in total equity, and $21.8 million in dividends and rebates being returned to member owners. Please be on time for your 80th AGM on Saturday, May 25th at 2 p.m. And don't forget to bring along your HRCU passbook and valid photo ID in order to enter the Civic Center. HRCU, making a difference in people's lives.
The Ministry of Blue Economy and Disaster Risk Management, in partnership with the National Adaptation Plan Global Network Secretariat, will be hosting the second Blue Economy Climate Resilience Forum and Fair on June 6th and 7th. This year's theme is Linking Science and Livelihoods towards Climate Resilience for the Coastal Zone and Fisheries Sector of Belize. Come and take part in presentations relating to climate change and national adaptation and mitigation initiatives, the use of scientific knowledge to enhance resilience, and how men and women in our community can positively impact our coastal zone and fisheries sector. On day 1, June 6th, the Blue Economy Forum will provide a platform for NGOs, academia, and private citizens to present their plans, projects, and national initiatives at the Belize Biltmore Plaza from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. On day 2, June 7th, the Blue Economy Fair takes place at the Fisheries Compound on Princess Margaret Drive, where stakeholders such as NGOs, fisherfolk organizations, and MSMEs will showcase their booths. There will also be lots of raffle giveaways. Everyone is invited to the second Blue Economy Climate Resilience Forum and Fair on June 6th and 7th.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a Lone Ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
No, I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
Every day, adolescents who are caught violating the law are processed through the justice system and incarcerated upon conviction. Many times, these youths are enrolled in a school setting and end up losing the chance to complete their formal education. Today, Assistant Commissioner of Police Howell Gillett attempted to reduce this trend when he took students from 5 high schools across Belize City to visit the prison facility. The youths were taken through the facility's security system like any other visitor and were brought face to face with what prison life is like when they entered the holding cell at the facility. News 5's Marian Ali was present for the visit and filed this report.
Full block is not allowed. Any excessive jewelry is not allowed. Right now, I will ask you if you have any money in your pocket. You need to remove it. If you have any electronic devices, you need to move it. Why I'm telling you this is because when you enter into my prison, you will be searched. Everybody here will be searched.
The first phase of the visit that the 40 high school students experienced was an introduction by Chief of the Prison Security, Michael Gladden. he advised the youths on the do's and don'ts when visiting the facility. After the students were searched, they were escorted by prison guards and police officers to the sections of the facility that were prepared for their visit. The tour was an initiative undertaken by Assistant Commissioner of Police Howell Gillett, who also heads the Community Policing Unit. He told News 5 that the visit aims to discourage the youths from engaging in a life of crime.
We strategically pick kids from different areas across the city to come and see and state what occurs when a crime is committed in the street. And we do so because we are fully aware that some of the behaviors, the actions that brought these inmates here, there are corresponding behaviors within the communities that these children come from. So we want them to see not just what they are seeing every day or on a frequent basis, but what the result will be like if we choose that kind of life. So we want them to make better decisions for themselves. We want them to see the justice system because the prison is a part of the justice system.
Virgilio Murillo is the Chief Executive Officer of Colby Foundation, which manages the Belize Central Prison. He said that when Gillett contacted him a month ago with the request to have the youths visit, he gladly accepted in the hopes that it is going to deter them from ending up at the facility, not as guests, but as inmates.
We're going to have a few prisoners who will be sharing their personal life stories of what it's like being in prison. Because some people have the idea that prison is a bed of roses, but it is not, and it should not be either. The prison is the last option available to the courts to manage those persons who have failed alternative punishments. And when the judge or the magistrate sends a person to the prison, obviously there were no other way to control that person, there were no other way to steer that person away from a life of crime, so they had to send them to the prison. My job as the superintendent is to ensure that we rehabilitate them properly, we discipline them properly, so that they do not want to come back.
Murillo had candid advice for the youths upon their arrival.
My message to them is that stay away from the prison. Crime does not pay, because I told them a while ago in there that the only next place that they will end up is burial ground, 6 feet under. It is as blunt as that.
The youths were deliberately selected from schools in some of Belize City's crime-ridden zones. ACP Gillett says he believes that the reality does not mean that the youths who come from these areas will be criminals.
We at the Community Policing Unit, we know some of the issues that are affecting our communities that we serve. So the children were chosen from different schools that come from the areas that we want to bring this message that you could live a crime-free life. But it's a choice that you have to make.
And for Gillett, the sky is the limit.
With the possibility of them choosing a career path in law enforcement, in becoming a social worker, becoming a judge or a magistrate, any part of the system itself.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
Gillett says that a study that has been done on the community policing unit's engagement with youths over the past decade shows that the unit has interacted with 80,000 youths over that period, and that a large percentage of those youths have gone on to not commit any egregious breach of the law. 32-year-old Alina Estelle, a Ukrainian national, was slapped with 3 traffic offenses, including manslaughter by negligence, causing death by careless conduct, and drove motor vehicle without due care and attention when she appeared before the lower courts today. The charges stem from a fatal road traffic accident that occurred on the Philip Golson Highway on May 9th. Estelle, a naturalized Belizean, was driving a Honda Civic near Mile 9 when she knocked down 31-year-old Gilbert Stevens Jr., a car washer of Lords Bank Village. Stevens was riding a motorcycle when Estelle crashed into him. He succumbed to his injuries on May 21st. In court today, Estelle was arraigned on 3 counts. No plea was taken from her, and she was offered bail in the sum of $5,000 plus 1 surety of the same. A teacher in San Pedro was arraigned on Thursday in the San Pedro Magistrates Court on 3 counts of sexual assault. The incidents allegedly occurred between January and March of this year with 3 students who are enrolled at the same school where he teaches. One of the victims is 14 and the other 2 are 15 years old. He appeared in court with his attorney, Ronel Gonzalez, and was offered bail of $9,000, which he met. He is to surrender his travel documents, not to apply for new travel documents, not to leave Belize without permission of the court, not to contact complainants, and not to be within 100 yards of the complainants. He is to report back to court July 17th. As many as a dozen rounds were fired on Bannock Street this afternoon when a gunman let loose a shower of bullets at an unsuspecting target who was reportedly riding a motorcycle in the vicinity. News 5 understands that the victim was injured in the leg. Scenes of crime personnel arrived at the location sometime after the incident and processed the scene, where markers littered the street near its intersection with Central American Boulevard. Police are yet to share details on the mid-afternoon shooting. On Thursday, attorney Arthur Saldivar, on behalf of his client Oscar Salgado, questioned the fitness of the Belize Central Prison when it comes to the care of inmates who are diabetic. Salgado, an attorney at law, has been found guilty of abetment to commit murder and is awaiting sentencing in the High Court. His health condition, however, is of serious concern because Salgado complains that the facility isn't adequately addressing his illness and his health continues to deteriorate while incarcerated. Earlier today, when we visited the prison, we spoke with Chief Executive Officer Virgilio Murillo, who took the stand yesterday to attest to the prison's capability of tending to inmates living with diabetes.
They always say the proof is in the eating of the pudding. As far as I'm aware, and as far as my belief goes, my opinion and my thoughts goes, it's all about sensationalism, and I will not pay much attention to that. We can be tested, and I'm sure we're going to pass with flying colors. We have diabetics in this prison who have been diabetics for the last 12 years and counting. And
2 have died.
2 have died, has nothing to do with the prison. I don't know how I prevent a person from dying when they choose by their own free will to stop eating because of depression. I can't open their mouth and feed them like a bird. It doesn't work that way.
But the report that Mr. Salgado gave that the person he was assigned to, or the medical officer assigned to him that day, was a fellow prisoner.
That's a practice that is practiced in prisons all over the world. All right? These people are not less of a human being because they have come to prison. Let us understand that first and foremost. And they have the capability to be trained in different fields and sciences and all of that. They're very brilliant people. They just made mistakes and got caught. And they're here to pay the consequences or face the consequences.
After the break, Belizean promoter and influencer Cyril Uruway, Belizean, tosses his hat in the ring and challenges Dangriga area rep Dr. Louis Sabani. But first, here's the weather update with data from the National Meteorological Service.
In a world driven by technology, the Digi Scholarship Program opens doors to endless possibilities. Welcome to the Digi Scholarship Program, where dreams meet innovation and knowledge transforms into action.
received the Digi Scholarship back in 2014 as a 12-year-old student attending St. Catherine Academy. It's been 10 years, and the journey since receiving that scholarship has been a whirlwind. At the time of receiving the scholarship, my family and I were going through a few transitions with losing loved ones and family dynamics. This opportunity opened doors for myself and my family as I was able to attend secondary school with the security of the entire 4 years being covered by Digi. With the additional savings from the years, I was able to participate in 10 CXCs, all of which I passed. Passing all those CXCs led to me also receiving government assistance, which covered my sixth form education at St. John's College Junior College and a portion of my tertiary education at the University of Belize. I have been employed at Digi for the past 2.5 years. I currently serve as a Senior Solutions Officer, while also completing my master's degree at Edinburgh Napier University. One scholarship opened the doors and paved the way for me to acquire a higher quality education.
Join the Digi Scholarship Program today and embark on a journey of empowerment, education, and excellence. Visit our website to learn more about how you can be a part of this life-changing opportunity. Apply now and unlock your potential with Digi. Digi, our national telecom.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Iowa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Iowa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Iowa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Iowa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Iowa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
What if I told you that your singing talent can earn you $10,000? And what if I told you that you can stop singing in the shower and sing live on one of the biggest stages in Belize?
Let's go! I'm gonna love you forever.
Still not sold? Well, what if I told you with all that's offered, you can attract fans and supporters from all over the country? So, are you ready to be part of the most exciting singing competition in Belize? It's time for KTV The Remix, Season 6. Auditions will take place on Saturday, June 1st and Sunday, June 2nd. So mark your calendars and come show us how good you are. This is your chance to make it big and win big. KTV The Remix, Season 6. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on 5.
Discover a shopping experience like no other at the V Department Store. They carry a vast array of products at unbeatable prices. Elevate your shopping journey with affordability, diversity, and accessibility at the V. Conveniently located at 1745 Coney Drive in Belize City.
As they fight for power in Toledo, PUP aspirants are talking a lot about poverty and how desperate things have gotten under their government.
Poverty in Toledo has increased. I mean, these are things that we are practically back on the 20th century. They need to be addressed now.
While Toledo farmers are losing their livelihood to raging fires, PUP ministers are posing for pictures but doing nothing to assist with food and other urgent relief supplies. And while a state of public emergency has been declared, resources have not been deployed to combat the disaster, as even young children are forced to fight fire. It's all talking and picture taking, no action and no love for the people of Toledo, who, according to the PUP, do not deserve much.
About 8 feet so, and 4 feet so, and 6 feet so. About 8 feet so, and 4 feet so, and 6 feet so.
Earlier today, the Atlantic Bank Limited issued a press release stating that on May 1st, the facilities held with the embattled State Bank Enterprise Limited were sold to Operaciones Portuarias, a corporation that is registered under Honduran laws and is an entity that is affiliated with brothers Guillermo and David Bueso. The statement continues, quote, "The bank has therefore removed from its books the debt owed by SBEL. As of that date, the bank no longer carried on banking business with SBEL. As we reported, State Bank Enterprise has gone into receivership and several lawsuits have been filed between the bank and the development company owned by businessman Michael Feinstein. It is unclear what becomes of those claims as well as the future of the multi-million-dollar State Bank project." Belizean music promoter Cyril Uruguay is entering the political arena and intends to challenge incumbent area representative Dr. Luis Zabani in the Dangriga constituency. Shortly before noon today, Uruguay made his way over to the People's United Party's headquarters at Independence Hall, where he submitted an application to run against Dr. Zabani in that division. According to Uruguay, his foray into electoral politics is the result of a lack of development in his hometown.
I was born and raised in Dangriga. I've never really thought about getting into politics, especially at this level. But Dangriga has been downtrodden for too long. There are so many things that we need that we haven't been getting. We have so many talented youths. We have Hugh B, we have Super G. Most of the ones that make it out of Dangriga, they're out of their own mind, out of their own creativity. If we have more opportunities, if we have our representative going to speak for us and ask for us on our behalf, we can do a lot more in Dangriga. So currently, I have experienced firsthand the current era rep, and I am dissatisfied. Dangriga is dissatisfied. So that's what moved me to come to this juncture, you know.
You have submitted an application to run in a convention against Dr. Luis Zabani. Talk to us about perhaps the confidence that you have in this particular political endeavor.
I am self-made, Isani, self-made. Ever since high school, and for the record, the farthest education I have is high school. I've spent all my life in self-development. I'm a digital marketer. I'm a 500-hour certified yoga teacher. I am well-read, and I love people. I love Dangriga. I have a passion for my people, for my culture, and I don't see that in Louis.
This afternoon, Dr. Zabani also spoke with News 5 regarding the challenge and provided an update on the works that have been taking place in his constituency. Zabani also has been in office since November 2020 when he was elected under the People's United Party.
Our party has a mechanism in place, and Prime Minister and the party, the chairman, opened up the period for persons to apply, which I believe closes today. But At the end of the day, I can speak to the things that I have worked on, the process that I went through when I had to apply for the first time. And I believe I brought to the table over 30 years combined work experience, academic achievement, and that is what I presented to the party. I said, based on this background that is here, that I am sharing with you, that you all are able to go and verify, I would like the opportunity to serve the people of the Dangriga constituency, and I was very humble and honored to have been accepted to do so.
Dr. Zabani, as area representative for Dangriga, how would you respond to the criticism that some would say you seem to be disconnected from those on the ground in terms of being able to provide the services that the constituency needs?
Yeah, I think if you go and speak to the people in Dangriga, you would find that that's not the case. On the contrary, you will see me very active in the community. Being a Minister of State in government also means that I have those responsibilities. So it's not every day that I can be in the constituency itself. The people on the ground are able to see what has been achieved. I've worked very hard in various areas based on the promises I made, the areas of priority that I was guided by the people to do. Education, we've done quite a bit in that area. Besides the Plan Belize that has free education now, and we have Delil and we have Henry under that program, we've done over 500 scholarships, preschool all the way to university. And we've also brought Henry to life again. It was dormant. We've also brought the IT vet back to life again. We also have the infrastructure. For the first time, Dangriga has seen in a short period of time, coming from central government, 18 streets, and these are not short streets, long streets that have been paved. The villages, we have Hope Creek and we have Sarawi, for the first time they have paved streets. We are working on their sporting facilities, for example.
The European Union has contributed $6 million to the office of the OAS in the Belize-Guatemala adjacency zone. The funds will be used to support the OAS in its ongoing work to maintain peace between Belize and Guatemala through its verification exercises and cultural investments. A cooperation agreement was signed today at the office of the OAS out west. Representatives from the European Union, ambassadors from both Belize and Guatemala, as well as the Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Amalia Mai, was present. CEO Mai described the EU's financial support as a lifeline for the project.
I always have to recognize that they have gone far beyond the issue of verification. They have now included the cultural aspect, the peace aspect. It has always been there. But I have found that the trainings that are being conducted here through grants have been extremely, extremely good for both communities on both sides of the adjacency zone. You have extended now a lifeline for this project. And I can only know and recognize what you said earlier, that after the ruling of the court, the project takes a new fashion. And yes, of course, I'm also very happy that you recognize that we'll keep knocking at doors for the demarcation of our borders. I think that will have to come. You can't have a court ruling and not be ready for that. So we have to prepare for that. We have to prepare our friends for that moment. I think it's going to be, we estimate, sometime next year after the oral hearings, which we don't have a date, but we believe it will be sometime in the first quarter, and by the end of the year, we hopefully should have a decision from the International Court of Justice. I think on both sides of the fence, we have done the right thing. I can't speak on Guatemala, but I think that we recognize that the referendum, taking this issue to the International Court for a definitive solution has been the right move by both governments, from Guatemala and from Belize. You know, the process was extensive, the process was emotional sometimes, But at the end of the day, both populations decided that going to the ICJ is the right thing.
We also heard from Marianne Van Steen, the ambassador of the European Union to Belize. She explained why the EU continues to back the work of the OAS financially. Ambassador Van Steen lauded the decision taken by both Belize and Guatemala to place the border dispute in the hands of the International Court of Justice. She noted that funds will aid the work of the OAS for the next 3 years, which will likely extend beyond the time the ICJ hands down its decision on the border dispute.
Every time I go back and I'm explaining to my colleagues in my office, but also in Brussels, that this is exactly the kind of projects that we should be supporting and that we should continue to support. Why is that? Because it's all about peace and it's all about conflict prevention. And peace has always been at the core of the European Union. We have seen the important work that has been done by the OAS mission here in the adjacency zone. And the uncertainty regarding the border between Belize and Guatemala could indeed lead to tensions. And that is exactly what we do not want and why we are supporting this project. Let me express here again the European Union's appreciation of the decision taken by the two countries, by Guatemala, by Belize, to have agreed to ask the International Court of Justice to examine the matter, to have committed to its ruling once established, and to have initiated, under the guidance, accompaniment of the OAS, a political diplomatic process of, I can say it in Spanish maybe better, acercamiento, coming closer together, dialoguing, talking with each other whenever that appears necessary and useful. I very much hope that this program is going to be the last one. We are very much expecting that the International Court of Justice will issue its dictamen, judgment, I don't know what is the right word, within a year probably from now. I mean, I think that is more or less within our perspectives. And that will, of course, not end the work that has been done. We will continue here at least for another 3 years.
When we return, the bright side heads to Punta Gorda, where high school students tackle bullying.
Global rise in temperatures due to climate change increase the severity of dry weather conditions experienced in Belize. Forest fires, dust buildup, and contamination of our power lines can result in power interruptions. At BEL, we continue to do our part to minimize the impacts of challenging weather conditions and improve the reliability of our power line system. You can help. Report forest fires or damaged power line structures using our BEL 24/7 app or call us at 0800 BEL CARE. That is 0800 235 2273. We continue to serve you.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
if I told you that your singing talent can earn you $10,000? And what if I told you that you can stop singing in the shower and sing live on one of the biggest stages in Belize?
Let's go! I'm gonna love you forever.
Still not sold? Well, what if I told you with all that's offered, you can attract fans and supporters from all over the country? So, are you ready to be part of the most exciting singing competition in Belize? It's time for KTV The Remix, Season 6. Auditions will take place on Saturday, June 1st and Sunday, June 2nd. So mark your calendars and come show us how good you are. This is your chance to make it big and win big. KTV The Remix, Season 6. It's hot, it's live, and it's only on 5.
With the steady increase in prices, it's hard to hold on to your hard-earned cash. Well, here at Benny's, prices are steadily falling, making it easier to stretch your dollars. Prices are slashed on roofing, plysim, nails, rebar, paints, lumber, and other products for your construction needs. And with fantastic discounts going on right now, get store-wide deals on select products from now through September 30th. Visit a Benny's store near you today, where the prices just keep on falling. Benny's, quality and savings.
Nestled away in the quaint Belize River Valley, Black Orchid's Panda River Restaurant offers a variety of great dining areas and experiences, with an excellent variety of local and international cuisine, with healthy meal options for vegans and those with health concerns. Your delectable dining can be topped off with our excellent desserts, natural fruit juices, and exquisite wine and drink options. All prepared by our certified chef and award-winning mixologist. Come to Panda River Restaurant and River Rum Bar to relax in the pool or use our excellent conference facilities combined with great dining.
A diamond in the jungle.
We all know about the phasing out of single-use plastics and the enactment of pollution from the plastics regulations. One of the key components in this regulation states that for an item to be considered biodegradable, it must consist of more than 50% of bio-based content. Here, you will find out how the Department of the Environment determines what items meet the criteria and what equipment is being used to guide that process.
Since 2019, the Department of the Environment has been working with CIFAS in doing microplastics. Through this project, CIFAS has donated 2 microscope Fourier transform infrared spectroscopy equipment to strengthen capacities on monitoring and enforcement to reduce marine litter and plastic pollution. The FTIR can be used to identify unknown materials. The Department of the Environment will use the equipment to determine the composition of single-use plastics and biodegradable products to enforce the environmental protection, pollution from plastics regulations.
While we have a long way to go with the implementation of the pollution from plastics regulation, having this equipment is one step closer. For more information on what's being done about biodegradables and ways you can help, visit our website at www.doe.gov.bz.
In the bustling halls of Toledo Community College, a transformative movement is underway. Students and faculty have joined forces to tackle one of society's most pressing issues, bullying. Through an innovative approach to competency-based learning, Toledo Community College is rewriting the narrative on preventing bullying. Sabrina Daly tells us more in this week's Look on the Bright Side.
On the Bright Side is brought to you by the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology, and UNICEF.
I believe a bully is someone who doesn't love themselves to a certain extent that they want to hurt you, they want to make you feel bad about yourself.
Jeremiah Logan is a proud member of this year's graduating class at Toledo Community College. Known for his easygoing nature, he holds kindness and humility as core values. Ironically, these very qualities made him a target for bullies.
Well, my experience is that, because I'm a male, people would expect me to, as they say something at me, I would be a bit more rowdy with them, but I walk away. So for these reasons, people think I'm kind of soft, I'm weak or so, but I try to, be more on the upper side and not to engage myself with any kind of conflict.
Well, I'm really an outgoing person.
A similar experience was shared by Linnell Arzu, also a member of this year's graduating class. Bullies targeted her because of her skin color.
It was something hard to deal with because there wasn't much of my skin color where I used to live, so it was really hard fitting in. And I remember I used to try to go out of my way to make myself be seen or heard because no one really wanted to listen to me or hear my ideas, which was very brilliant. They would always say, oh, you're not smart, you're black.
TCC has a population of over 700 students. Vice Principal Joanna Monk explains that while the Wellness Center and counselors educate students on STIs, teenage pregnancy, bullying, and mental health, she collaborates with parents to address significant student issues.
They come to me when we have, much larger issues that we need to address, or we have to reach out to parents to problem solve difficulties that students are having. So we work hand in hand. Now, the Wellness Center, our counselors, they also do a lot of education on pertinent social issues affecting teenagers. I've noticed that it's a post-pandemic issue, particularly the amount of online cyberbullying has increased substantially since the pandemic. I think it was always, if you're my age, you always remember that there was somebody who was trying to steal your money or shove you around, and that was the bullying that we dealt with. But this is very different because this is saying horrible things about people, derogatory things that really have an impact on people's mental health.
Oh my God, what are you doing? You're such a nerd. Why did you do that? I'm just speaking facts.
The Ministry of Education, through its competency-based curriculum, champions innovative approaches to education, promising a more impactful learning experience.
Stop bullying, start educating. Not everyone has a strong mind.
Althea Sanchez is an English teacher who challenged her students to confront bullying.
We were discussing a new topic, persuasive writing, and we were talking about the three appeals, ethos, pathos, and logos, and I wanted a project that highlighted the students' creativity and also highlighting a social issue that many of our students were facing. And at the time, a lot of bullying videos were coming about and a lot of scenarios were coming about and a lot of situations, and I thought, something to highlight that issue, especially with our students, because they experience it. I said, it would be a perfect time to actually showcase that and, send a message out to the school population that bullying is not okay.
Well, look who it is. Can you show the ugly fish? Yeah, what's up, loser? I don't know why you're even here. You're so ugly.
These three persuasive appeals are often used together to create compelling arguments and effectively influence the audience's beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors.
We did ethos, pathos, and logos, whereby based upon someone's character that causes you to want to bully them, and your emotions is how you respond to the bullying. If you're aggressive towards it, if you're passive, or so, and the logos is based upon the facts. Like if you go and start a problem, some people, you would say they fight fire with fire, and then they have some whereby they would just walk away. So the outcome of our video was that the person got sent to the principal's office where they got either expelled or suspended. And then they have in the other videos where the outcome of the bullying was, death or suicide or, depression or so.
The assignment proved effective as the students understood the concept being shared. But what Sanchez did not expect was how moved she would be by the message.
They were very emotional for me when I watched them. I myself was a student of TCC and I was bullied also. So to see them actually, highlighting different aspects of bullying and the fact that they themselves were victims of it really resonated with me, and the fact that they threw themselves into this project and they did so excellent. It was emotional, it was captivating, and you can see the message being portrayed, and that's exactly what we were looking for.
When I saw the videos, I was so impressed that there was one of them that actually gave me shivers when I saw it, that these are issues that are actually impacting students and that it's something we have to absolutely address. We have to identify where students are being bullied, how they're being bullied, and how we address it.
The activity provided an opportunity for students to simulate bullying, as well as its effects on victims. The students feel that they've created a lasting legacy for generations to come.
What do you think will be the impact of this project that they carried out?
I think it links back to the competency base that we're doing now with the new curriculum, and it's all about authentic, realistic, showing the kids that it's beyond, you can go beyond the classroom. And that's what I wanted to showcase with our kids, that show your competence. You have collaboration, you have digital literacy, you have communication, and all of that came into play with doing this project, and I think it works perfectly with what the ministry has aligned for us.
So now that you are graduating from the school, a school that has sent a strong message against bullying, how do you feel?
I'm filled with joy. I actually am, because bullying is nothing nice.
Hopefully this helps someone. Hopefully this changes someone's mentality towards someone else. So I believe we left a great impact, and hopefully there's better to come.
Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
On the Bright Side was brought to you by the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science and Technology, and UNICEF.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com on both our Facebook and YouTube. I'm Annalyn Apollonia. From all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.